Hong Kong, Hong Kong, Hong Kong. What a place. So, join me on my 48-hour trip into one of Asia's most iconic cities. But first, let's grab some grub. I must say, I love the chicken teriyaki on Air Asia. Landing at Hong Kong Airport is a beautiful sight. Airport is cool. First thing you want to do when you get there, grab yourself a SIM card. Don't even wait. I think it makes it much easier. It's pretty cheap. After you get the SIM card, if you're taking the fast train, I'd say head on over, grab your ticket. It can be a little bit confusing. And I believe you can also just use the machine, but I guess I wanted the real Hong Kong airport experience, so I waited in that long ass line. Next up, heading into the city. So again, I believe I took the wrong route. I should have taken another one, but this was still pretty cool. Had to make a few transfers, and then I started looking for my Airbnb, and man, was I confused. Here's a pro tip. If you're in Hong Kong, a lot of times Google Maps does not give you accurate directions in certain areas, so you'll want to double check. As you can see, this is awful. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with my Airbnb, but it was cheap. It was in Jordan, as they call it, the real Hong Kong, and I was out. I had to get the hell out of there. I had to leave, and just kind of walk around the city, take it in. It really reminds me a lot of a more diverse Singapore. It's very clean, I guess very orderly. You know, one thing I noticed really quickly, I didn't see any police officers really. Maybe like one or two. I think they were police officers. Not really even sure. But highly recommend just grabbing your good shoes and taking a walk throughout Hong Kong. It's really cool. Great buildings, very interesting stores, a lot of Chinese medicine stores, which I thought was very interesting. But I think they found a really good blend in Hong Kong of like kind of mixing nature and city life. And everything's really easy to get to, whether that's, car, bus, train, walking, etc. After a long day of walking, I decided, hey man, I'm just head on back to my Airbnb, kind of rest up a bit. Next day, rainy, I was off, grabbed an Uber. Uber is much faster, comes to you really quickly, but more expensive than the most popular app, which is HK Taxi, I believe. So I was heading, I had a really, had a hankering for some Western breakfast. I've lived in Asia for 5 years, so anytime I can get good Western food, I go. So here we are. I arrived, headed over to Green Waffle Diner over on Hong Kong Island. I was really craving some Western food. I've been in Asia for almost 5 years, so anytime I get good Western food, I give it a try. And this was not a disappointment. The great ratings on Google were upheld. Although I will say, they seasoned the eggs with some very interesting seasoning, and the potatoes. Either way, still good. So after I ate, I headed down to just walk around Hong Kong Island, explore the alleyways. Boy, it was a blazing one. So if you're gonna walk around Hong Kong, just be prepared for the heat. But also be prepared for the rain, because it's coming. I was caught, and I wasn't happy. But I got an umbrella. I continued my touring in the sometimes torrential downpours. But when it rains in Hong Kong, it kind of starts and then stops. So things clear up pretty easily. But when you're on the island, they have these steep steep hills with steps that are so slippery. As you can see, it's very easy to trip and fall. But exploring Hong Kong Island was really cool. I wouldn't say it has the same essence as the mainland, but it's still pretty cool. So from there, I decided to hop on the subway, which is pretty easy. But first, gotta get some Miss Fields cookies.
One comes with two. I just want one. Yeah, just one only.
She was probably thinking, I know your big ass want more than one cookie.
Have a good day.
Next started my trip on the subway. It's actually really easy to get a card for a single trip, but if you're going to take multiple subway trips, I would recommend the Octopus card. It makes things a lot easier for getting on buses, subways, etc. Another thing, when you're at the last or first stop of a train station, the most crowded train is the one that's leaving first. I didn't know that. Watch me leave the most crowded train because I wanted a seat. That's me, thinking I'm doing the right thing. Oh yeah, I'm smarter than all y'all. Wait a second. Yep. Might as well make the best of it. Have a seat. Yeah, this guy wouldn't stop talking. So a bit later in the day, I decided to go to K11 Musea and the Avenue of the Stars, but I wanted to see what it was like to get on a bus. And these buses are pretty darn cool. Only thing is, again, it'd be so much easier if I had an Octopus card. Watch as I struggle. What a kind man.
Thank you.
So if you're lucky when you get on one of these double-decker buses in Hong Kong, which are pretty much everywhere, you can get a magnificent view at the top. So long as those front two seats are open, it's like the world is your oyster. Take a look at this. Like, that's awesome. So I really enjoyed just the view of the city. I mean, again, this is such a clean city. Getting to Avenue of the Stars, I believe this is what it's called, but the view is breathtaking. Man, there's also a Museum of Fine Arts, lots of restaurants, and K11 Musea, which I'll show you later, but just wanted to show you some views of this great walk. I mean, it's just awesome. During the day, at dusk, and at night. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Even had to take a walk over to my good friend, or my good mentor from the past, who I've never met, Mr. Bruce Lee. Such a cool statue. Like, it's just a cool statue. I guess it's kind of like our version of the Rocky statue. Back to the daytime stroll. So, I was coming up on this massive, I won't say monstrosity, because this is a really beautiful piece of artwork at this mall called K11 Musea. It's like when you walk in, you just feel the decadence. Looking up the history of it, it took more than 10 years to make, which it was actually, I guess, crafted, or the bones of it was crafted by Adrian Ching. But he actually worked with 100 creative international architects and artists and designers who wanted to kind of bring the journey into an imagination, which I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fire. I'll say that K11 Museum, I've been to malls, all around the world. It's actually the vibe of it. It's just everything fits. Everything flows to the next section very well. Even when you're lost, you're like, that's interesting. I'd like to learn more. Show me more. And then you just keep walking. That fella there, he's eating caviar. I don't even know what caviar tastes like. So, just continuing on the journey. It's like I guess that's the name, K11 Musea. Everywhere you go, you feel like you're immersed in art. And it's like every floor and every part of the floor makes a statement. Now, next, I had to go to Five Guys. I know what you guys are thinking. You're in Hong Kong, you're eating Western food. I've been in Asia for 5 years, guys. I love when I get a chance to eat food from home, even though it's terrible food, but tasty. I couldn't see her face, but I imagine she was beautiful. She had a great personality. Look at that, nice free refills. You don't get that everywhere in Asia, guys. And the Five Guys tasted like Five Guys. Snosberry tasted like snosberries. So afterwards, I decided to take a nice stroll. This is real Hong Kong, mainland Hong Kong. Really cool, chill vibe, night atmosphere. This was during the middle of the week, so I'm guessing that Friday, Saturday, it's probably a lot more busy. But either way, I still enjoyed the vibe. Decided to grab a nice cold drink after taking a view or taking a walk. But first stop, I wanted to check out this random weed shop. They don't sell weed. I don't want to get in trouble. Don't want to get anybody else in trouble. But they literally don't sell weed. But they sell weed paraphernalia. And I'm thinking, this is Hong Kong / China. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. You just feel really safe in Hong Kong. Everywhere you go. So, sitting here, great Long Island. Can't beat a Long Island, I must say. Just chill, watch the night atmosphere. But again, it's kind of dead. Sat here for maybe like 45 minutes. I have to come back on the weekend, I think. So after that, it was time to walk home, get ready to head out in the morning, but just take in the streets one last time. I kind of feel like I was on a scouting mission. I think I'll be back. Tell me some non-touristy things that I missed out on. And maybe when I come back, I can check those out. I'm really not a big fan of the touristy things. Just taking it all in. Follow the white umbrella. I felt like I was in a video game or something for a second. Time to head home. Which by now, I guess I got used to it. It felt somewhat comforting to get quote unquote home. First day I was a bit surprised and shocked at the Airbnb, but after staying there, turning on the air conditioning, letting out whatever smell that was, it was actually a pretty comfortable stay. The bed was comfortable, the shower was hot, can't beat that. So the night's over and the trip is over as well. Time to grab some grub at the Hong Kong airport and head out. Alright guys, well, this is my 48-hour excursion into Hong Kong. Let me know what you think. What random places would you like to see me explore in a city like Hong Kong? But non-touristy or something off the beaten path. Not something I'm going to find on Google's top 10. Either way, happy travels. I hope to see you again. Please subscribe and have a great day.